Welcome to the Northwest Provincial Government Podcast. We inspire and encourage our communities through personally inspiring stories of our leaders in government and game changers in our communities. Enjoy this episode.
Dumelang and welcome to the Northwest Provincial Government Podcast. My name is Lemogang Pule and I am truly honored to be back in this chair to bring you great conversations from our government leaders as well as game changers in our different communities in the Northwest Province. And with that said, it brings me to the introduction of our guest today. We have the first resident of Mahikeng, if you will. Tota go katwe ke motho o ratang Mahikeng, and he is none other than the executive mayor of the Mahikeng local municipality, Councillor Tshepiso Mphehlo. Mayor, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me to the podcast, and I'm most delighted to be joining you today.
How are you feeling on this random weekday afternoon?
Well, it's just an ordinary day whereby every time when I wake up, everything that I think about is about saving the people of Mahikeng. Also saying, what can I do again to bring about change in my city, including all the villages that falls under the jurisdiction of Mahikeng local municipality. That's everything that preoccupies my mind, besides other personal responsibilities on the side.
Yeah. And where does the passion come from?
Well, the passion really comes from, if you are a person, you need to leave a mark on earth before we exit this world. Say, what is the role that you want to play, the impact that you want to leave in the people's lives. So that is the most thing which is motivating me when I wake up and say, in future, where we took it, and so that we can also place our place or our home on the map, so that we can attract people to come to the city again, like it used to be in the past.
All right. We're going to come back to your vision and some of the things that, you have achieved in terms of attaining the level which you wanted to attain in terms of bringing development to Mahikeng. But for now, talk to us about your background. How was your upbringing like? Where did you do your schooling? What are some of those fond memories that you remember of growing up?
Yeah, well, I think just it's a known fact. I was born here in Mahikeng some 30-something years ago, if I don't want to expose my age for some security reasons, which are not necessarily security reasons. I grew up here. I went to my upbringing first started in Nwpg village, just outside Cllr. That's where I grew up, where my grandfather, whom I was named after, was sort of a headman of that community. Even the crèche was named after him, and also was named after him as well. So, and I also did my primary school in the same village of Nwpg in Ritsusitse Primary School. Then from there I proceeded to Mabato in Ridibone Secondary School, where I was also serving as the SRC member. Maybe learners there, they saw some potential in me, which I was not aware of. Then I proceeded also further to do my final secondary education in Siduma High School in Majemanso.
Right.
That's my home, where I grew up, where I have passion and everything. Because I've learned a lot of things in Majemanso, including the community that made me who I am in the dusty streets of Majemanso. Then from there, moving from, I did also my tertiary institution here. It was just behind my seat where I said, it's my alma mater, the Northwest University, which produced the person that I am also. In my tertiary education, where I studied my junior degree first. So there's studying peace studies and international relations. Then also proceeded further to do my master's degree and other certificates in other tertiary institutions. Here I am as the first resident of Mahikeng.
Definitely. And let's go back to your days at Siduma High School. What was that like?
It was quite an interesting journey, where I did, I think it was about 3 classes, grade 10, 11, and 12, yeah. That's when I started in Siduma High School. Well, though I must say it was a good environment, great teachers who produced the people that we are today. At times when you learn from school, you must take something out of it. When you're there, you know that teachers are the real people who craft the human beings that we are today. And one of the notable teachers that I came across was Mr. Makobi, who was my history teacher. He really made sure that he produces the best people out of us, not me personally alone, but many students who were his learners. Siduma School was the best school, and I must say, as their motto says, striving for excellence. And lately, I had to go back there and said, what can I do or give back to my community? Recently, I had to speak to one of the deputy ministers of communication. I said, let us go and contribute to establish a cyber lab in my alma mater. And that's what we did, having one of the first cyber labs, which was built by the government of the day, the national government. So I'm much happy about the school that has made me who I am.
Incredible. And how did they receive you coming back and not only visiting, but to also give back to the community?
And I must say, normally when I stand here or in my position, I don't want to see myself as a Nwana Germanso, but I see myself as a resident of Mahikeng. I've not really given much of attention where I come from. I believe that my broader aspect or broader contribution must be made to all the 35 wards that falls under the Mahikeng local municipality and more than 100 villages. And I was shocked really that I'm presiding over such a huge villages that are around Mahikeng. Well, they received me well. The people from Majamanso, I see them as my family, and really they are proud of the person that I am, including the school which made me who I am. And I think, coming from there, they hold me to a highest regard, mainly because of my upbringing, how I handle myself in the community. Also the community where I come from, which really in one of the villages that had to produce one of the mayors of Mahikeng, people of Majamanso, they're proudly saying, when kids from Siduma High School, they're also saying the same. On its own, it says that it's inspiring people. When in the backgrounds where we come from, people might say, can we really, or what the best can come out of Majamanso? And this is the example that I am. There are many people who have been really paving the way of inspiring people, such as Max and others, coming from the same school, Siduma High School and others. Well, that's what we need to do. People must be inspired so we can reach those levels as well. And mainly because of our age, it's possible for young people to reach these heights. And I believe that I'm one of the youngest mayors across the country, and which many people are looking up to. On its own, I think it's something which I pride myself with, that we must be an inspiration to most of the people, more especially in our areas where we come from, the rural areas and the townships. That's the inspiration which must turn tomorrow to be brighter than today.
Yes. You were named after your grandfather. Was that any pressure on having to, embody the kind of person that he was as a community leader and also live up to his name and his legacy?
Well, I think what I took from him, mainly I don't know him really. I think he passed away maybe when I was about 3 or 2 years old. Well, I'm not sure. I think I was 2 years. I think what I took from him, perhaps I'm the shortest one in the family. Even my younger brother is taller than me. Almost everyone is taller than me. And apparently he was a shorter person also in height. But what I hear stories about my grandfather, he was a community builder who loved his community, who contributed a lot, and apparently was strict. I hope maybe I took that from him as well. Remember, we come from a community outside the boundaries of the tribal authorities. Those areas where we come from, they were called the trust areas or trust villages. Now, these trust villages were made up of people who come from outside the province. Now, that's where they were settling. And he had to make sure that he contributes in building those communities and seeing that the promotion of the agricultural development in those areas, in the Mooifontein areas, contribution in terms of uplifting the people, and including mainly above anything else, the ownership of the land. People must own the land, and they must be able to cultivate their land and be able to feed themselves. I think that's what I can see that I took from him because of the stories that I hear from my parents and also the communities around those areas.
Interesting. Now, Mayor, take us through your political career, how it started, and who played an influential role in you making the decision to be active in politics.
Well, I come from a highly political family. Obviously, my dad, and there's a lot of stories about him,
which we would love to hear.
We'll definitely come to the stories. At times, there would be people saying, hey, but so your dad created this mess for us. Well, I come from a political family, really, where some of my uncles had to get involved a lot into the politics, and some, they went into exile. Based in areas there outside the Northwest Province in Soweto. Others had to go to exile in Lesotho, in the East Russia. And my dad remained behind. And that's where I think he also created a burden of us being into the situation of joining politics. Yeah, he was one of the people who somehow, we never talk about it publicly, who was contributing a lot to the toppling of the then Bantustan of Bophuthatswana. Yeah, that's how he was involved, because he was transporting some information in the country outside South Africa. So that's how he was caught. And recently I just heard when I was talking to one of the municipal managers in Ramotsheremile, I said, do you know that I saved your father? I was a bit around my early 20s. And he gave me those certain documents which were very sensitive at the time. So he had to hide them. So that's how my dad was saved. But was saved only for that moment. But he had to be dismissed and was banned from working for government again. Till today, he had to make sure that he mans up and create his own businesses outside being an employee of government. So I think that's where I come from, really, in terms of my political upbringing. Also the inspiration. I look up to everyone who has made the tangible contribution in seeing where we are today. And even if I must say, the contribution that is being made by our people, it must not really dim the light of the perfect contribution, or I can see some of the things such as infrastructure, which was built by the then government, either of apartheid or of the Bantustan of Bophuthatswana. And my obligation currently, even if we are inspired by those who were freedom fighters,
absolutely,
we must work on top of the achievement of the past, like we are doing currently. A time to resuscitate the aging infrastructure of Mahikeng, which was built then by the Bantustan of Bophuthatswana. We don't need to, like the English says, throwing the water with the baby. Must take what is best and build on top of it. I think the work is visible for everyone to see, even if I have to pat myself on the shoulder. But the inspiration says we can do more without judging the political backgrounds of the people, who they are, or the affiliation of different political parties. That's where I really gather my inspiration to be where I am today.
How would you describe your leadership style?
Yeah, well, some people tend to say that I appear to be sweet and quiet, but at times they say that I can be ruthless. But I know that I'm too consultative, because before you can take a decision, it must be thought thoroughly. And that's when you take decisions. You don't want to have regrets before thinking. You must think, consult, then you are able to act. That's my leadership style. At times I'm patient. I study moves, and I plan a lot. I even have to draft it down in terms of the actions that have to be taken before such actions can be taken. So in a nutshell, I would say I'm patient. And I study a lot.
Wow, interesting. And apart from the names that you have already mentioned, who would you say are your role models in South Africa, and why?
Well, I have many of them with a different style of leadership, with a different contribution. Really, contribution comes from the achievement that people have made and their impact. Well, I would prefer to say provincially, or including here, Some of them, that those who have been inspiring us, even starting the Council of Mahikeng, some of the councillors here. Remember, I'm a new councillor. There are those who have passed this road before me. Some of them, they are the chairpersons of MPAC, chairperson of the Rules Committee, the Chief Whip of Council, Memonamiti Mweti, and many, many of them in this particular council. They inspire me. At times you might think that your colleagues cannot inspire you, but they've inspired me a lot in terms of understanding local government, its policies and strategies, and how we can move forward in rebuilding a local government and professionalizing local government. And some, they include even, say, the former acting premier, the MEC, the former MEC, Honorable Nonoma Lui, in terms of his skill, how he acts in terms of acting, including the patients that I was talking about. Study from them and say, okay, this is how this particular leader acts. This is how he takes his actions. Some including also our President of the Republic, President Ramaphosa as well. Those, I think I've learned a lot from their strategies, how you study their moves. At times people might say they are too consultative. They take a lot of time to act. But you must think first, be patient, study your moves. Then when you strike or when you act, you know that you will never have regrets following you. Yeah.
And which books are you currently reading at the moment? And, maybe you can also mention those that you've read in the past, which you tend to go back to, just those that have the gift that kept on giving.
Yeah. I've got many books in my shelf, but I don't know how many of them have I opened lately. But few of them that I can mention is the one that I studied from school, Maru by Bessie Head. Was where they said a point where they said heredity is nothing, but the environment is everything. What you inherit, either personally, it might have limits, but your environment, where you live in, your surroundings, can make you a better person. Some also, I'm a political scholar. Also, the other book which inspires me was the book which was written by Karl Marx, the 18th Premier of Louis Bonaparte. How the government was toppled. They had to rebuild a new government again, which represented the aspirations of the people. Some, they include The Land is Ours by Advocate Nwpg. What inspired me mainly about that book, it spoke about Mahikeng, the history that I too, as a resident of Mahikeng, was not aware of. It was a thoroughly researched book which spoke about Mahikeng and its contribution in the liberation struggle of our people, the foundation also of the governing party of the African National Congress, whereby the pioneers of this organization, they come from here in Mahikeng. And, many people were not even aware of that. I would love that in future, this is the syllabus that we must have in our schools, not only being one-sided to a certain region in the country, but it also must put Mahikeng on the map. For example, the houses, say, the Sol Plaki, that the Dick Monsiwa, one of the earliest legal practitioners in the country, one of the first or earliest medical doctors, Dr. Mudir Mulema and others. Those are inspirational figures which we've read through these books that I've just mentioned, but there are many other books which I still have to open in my shelf, and when I have time, that's what I like to do.
Yeah. And maybe let me get your thoughts on this one. How is it important for us to be the ones that are writing our own stories and, owning the narrative of our lived experiences?
It's important for us to write our own stories. Yeah. We must not wait for other people to write stories for us. I think it should inspire us. Normally when we go around in our political circles, we normally say, why does Northwest not have a sizable number of ministers? Even like now, we don't have a minister who represents or comes from the Northwest province. Even particularly I can say in Mahikeng, I don't know when will we have a minister would say he comes or she comes from Mahikeng, born and bred and battered here in Mahikeng. Provincially as well, we need to have such people. If we do not have anything that inspires us, we'll never go anywhere. In terms of writing the stories, people must know that even when the ANC was founded, the contribution which was made by the Royal House of Boralomboratsidi, it was immense. The contributions of monies, the kettles which were taken there to rebuild this organization. And many people can be happy and say, oh, we were not aware that this organization really was coming out of Mahikeng, out of the ideas of Munsiwa, of Molema and others. Now that's what we need to do. Write our own stories, inspire them. We must have people who can say, let us push and make sure that these stories that come from our own background must be put in the syllabuses of the schools. Even a child in starting, when they open the books, Adutsiko starting primary school or Mahikeng, anywhere, either in Barolong or Barolong High School, say, now, yeah, this is the contribution they've made. But I think it's high time that we write stories of our people, of our heroes, so that it can inspire us to be people who have contributed to the country as Mahikeng, including the province of Northwest again. Yeah.
And Mayor, do you have any prospects to serve the province in Mahikeng in your community, the village of Majemantu where you're from, outside of the province?
Okay, serving in what sense?
Serving in parliament, for instance, as a minister, for instance. Do you have any prospects to, push yourself to get to a level that takes you outside of Mahikeng and the province, but still serving the people of the Northwest?
Well, for us, really, I must say, we do not own our lives. We do not even decide our fate or our destiny. Sitting here, I'm a product of the African National Congress as the governing party. If they decide and say, but we think you can contribute to this level, I cannot refuse, or I won't refuse. But I would definitely want to make sure that we represent our people in the highest echelons of power. People who come from this soil in Mahikeng, people who come from the Northwest Province, must be seen as well contributing to the country as a whole. People in other provinces, they must know that there are people in Mahikeng, there are people in the Northwest Province. But that one, it will come in future when the party that deploys us and say, we think that you've served your purpose here, maybe move to the next level. But we'll definitely take the opportunity, because currently this is my life. I live for the people, and that's my calling in this earth.
And when you were deployed into government, did you trust that you would deliver on what your party had sent you to do? Did you have to do a bit of convincing?
It's a funny story how I was chosen, really. Yeah, normally what we do, different wards will nominate people to serve in councils. For some funny reason, I just saw my name being on the top of the list, on the top 3. Well, I was just a caucus researcher in the Northwest Provincial Legislature, and also on the side being the volunteer of the ANC. I don't know what did they see in me. One time I was called by the President of the Republic, and I thought they were joking. Yeah, we went somewhere in Gauteng. There was a meeting where the President, including the ANC, called several young people for the interviews, and somehow I was selected to be part of them. And for the first time, I had to go on live TV, unprepared, without knowing even I'm going to appear on TV. I just went there and I did my thing. And for some reason, people were impressed. I came back home. We had to go back again to the branches of the ANC. They kept on nominating me until I was on top 3. And we were shortlisted. We went for interviews. And the next thing, I'm seeing myself in this interview and in this chair, serving the people of Mahikeng. But I must say, it comes from the hard work and dedication that you give to your people. Your contribution must not only be when you have been given a certain responsibility, even if you are on the background, either you are a teacher or a volunteer or a street sweeper, do your best. Someone will recognize you one day. And that's, I think, I'm the product of that.
All right. So I imagine with your line of work, there are some positives and negatives. In this case, how do you deal with the insults that come with being a mayor?
Well, I believe in criticism. At times the negative criticism, at times the positive criticism. And it depends how you handle them. Now, if someone criticizes you and say, this is what you need to do, you listen to them. And you study again. Is this a positive criticism that I can take and implement? Some people would say, I listen a lot to people, either through social medias, the comments of people. Some have really helped us to achieve the goals that we intended to achieve. Some are negative comments, which really, we just browse through them and say, but here I think these people are being unfair. But you have to listen to those people. Absolutely. You have to hear them out. Because your responsibility here is to listen to everyone. That those who love you or those who hate you, you will lead them, all of them, whether they like it or not. Even weigh yourself, whether you like it or not, but you lead those people. So those criticisms are obviously there. There's some that are insults, which really are intended to hurt you personally. But again, you have to handle them and say, either talk to your friends and said, did you see or how these people are talking to me? Now you get healed by working with people and say, but I think things will get better. Because at times they are doing those things with purpose, times without understanding. But as a leader, you have to put yourself and say, I need to listen to these people. I need to hear their insults. What is pushing them to do those things? And you don't need to hit back because you are protected by the law. That's the most important thing that you should do. And really, people are people. And that's how we should be working with them.
And it must be difficult. It's not a job that is meant for everyone. How would you say you spend your time when you are away from work?
Well, when I'm away from work, remember, it's one of the most challenging responsibilities being a mayor. Mainly being a young mayor. You're young, and now you have to change. Your youthful days are gone. Now, at times when you go back home, you're just excited. Especially when it hits Friday, you call your friends, where are you? Get with them. Are we going to watch football? Are you going home? Maybe sometimes I go home just to spend time with my family, sit there, either have a chat with my parents, my siblings, either going to church. I also love my church as well. Those are some of the things which I do when I'm outside work. I'm also a very biggest fan of Kaizer Chiefs. And it has been doing wonders, at least for the last 2 games that I've been playing. I love also watching football, including even in going around Mahikeng. We've been also helping certain football clubs by donating kits, football clubs to certain football clubs. It's fulfilling. It's relaxing being there with people, sharing jokes, laughter. That's what I love most about people from Mahikeng. That's my spare time that I would prefer to be spending with the local people, including my family as well.
Have you experienced a life-altering moment in your life where it gave you a wake-up call and you were like, I was probably very lucky to go through that and survive?
I was involved in a car accident in 2017. And I had just bought a new car just for 3 months. Then we went to one of our meetings in Kempton Park. And unfortunately, coming back home, we were involved in a car accident whereby we lost one of our friends in that car accident. He was driving by then. And sadly, when we were admitted with one of our friends, we were not even aware that we had lost one of our friends that we went to that conference with. We had to learn later, at a later stage when we came back home. The accident was in Gauteng. I think maybe after 9 months or so. Now they said, no, but are you aware that you lost one of your friends? Because I think during the accident, I think you can see the scratches on my face. Somehow I lost a memory then. So I just saw myself in hospital, for some funny reason. I thought I was just around Mahikeng, thinking about the local hospitals. Kante was just far away from home. I had to drive back without knowing even we lost a friend. We only had to go, be taken to his grave. Said, this is your friend. He could not make it during that car accident. Well, this is the scratches that I came with. Also, I had a leg fracture Well, my leg had to be connected with steels and screws. Yeah, I can say maybe I'm semi-disabled. But with the grace of God, maybe he managed to spare some of us, those who were in that car. But unfortunately, one of our friends had to leave us, and I hope his soul is resting in peace wherever he is. And this is my belief, that every time when we get into our roads, we must always pray, ask for divine intervention and the protection of the God, the Lord up there, just to protect us in our roads. And also, I'm worried about the car fatalities which people are experiencing in our roads. Must encourage our people also, when they drive, must exercise caution. Drive within the limits of the law on the roads. Must not drink and drive. Because at times you make people to lose their lives. At times you paralyze people. People get injured in the roads. Now, I think those are some of the things that we must teach our people, to be responsible citizens. Because you know that you're not only living your life for yourself, but you're living for other people. Caution on our roads, it's the most important thing that we must do. The cars are nice when you drive them, but they must come with responsibility. They can take us from point A to point B, but just when we do that, we must do with responsibility. Because families lose husbands and wives, mothers and fathers, daughters, children die on the roads every day. Only if we can be responsible people, we can be saved. Post that, even after that, I stayed in hospital for about 2 months, not leaving the bed. I had to learn how to walk on crutches. Yeah, you use 2 crutches. Then at a later stage, as you go through the physiotherapist, it'll teach you how to walk again. And maybe use 2 crutches. Later stage, you use 1. No, even the crutches, it was difficult for me to face people. Yeah, because every time when people see you, said, "Where do you get these crutches? What happened?" You have to relive the car accident over again, But through the support of my friends, some I'm working with them now, they had to go with me. I said, "No, but you have to accept how you are." Even walking alone, it was just a challenge. But having a good support system, it has been a wonderful journey in life, really, when going through those challenges. And well, especially for young people, we have lost most of our friends through the car accidents. One of them, and for a funny reason, the same date which were involved in the accident, I think it was on the 23rd or 24th of July. One of our friends also lost his life and was one of the popular activists around the country, one of the Feast Must Fall activists, Ikahopuli, lost his life in the same date, which we were also coming from a conference as well, But that's how we live our lives, with challenges. But we must overcome them, even outside what we've been through.
What vision do you think you had when you first came into office, and how far do you think you've come in terms of meeting that vision?
Yeah, in terms of meeting that vision, at times, and I must say this thing, including the viewers at home in the different platforms where they'll be watching this podcast. Getting into this seat, I thought it was easy. I get there with excitement. Well, I'm still young, and as you can see, the officials of my staff members are predominantly young, almost 70% of them. We come with excitement. Yeah, we're going to change this. There are going to be street lights in Mahikeng. The robots are going to be functioning. The roads are going to be there, That is the vision. The nightlife must be improved in Mahikeng. Sports and recreation must be things which are really, we can say we are proud of, things that can attract people back to Mahikeng. I saw in my visions, seeing Dotlamoring getting back to its life again, seeing Manyane Game Reserve, the airports functioning, having relations with institutions and the business sector, to try to rebuild Mahikeng again. But it was not easy. Yeah, getting into the city, it might seem easy, sometimes getting there, at times when you get out of the office and say, okay, now I'm going home, the thing that you can think about is that I need to throw myself in the bed and think again about my contribution that I'm going to do tomorrow. But the vision, I think it's on track. The most important thing when we got here was to rebuild the systems again. You know, we had to make sure that the municipality was highly indebted. It had many loans, including even paying off this building. We paid it off. We made sure that we paid off also the water boards. Currently, I think we're one of the few municipalities in the province that doesn't owe the water boards. We had to pay off the electricity debts and all the debts that we are owing outside. It might seem easy, but how do you start to reconstruct new roads if you have debts? How do you start to build new facilities, or including even creating new relationships with either the private sector while you are somehow indebted to the third parties? That was the first. Stabilize the institution first. Now the vision, really, you might not see it in the 2-3 years to come, but in the future, once you have built a solid foundation, and that's what I've learned coming here, to say, this is my vision, this is where I want to go. But I think we're getting there. The plan is to resuscitate Mahikeng and breathe life again into the lungs of Mahikeng. Also inspire our people that this is still our home. We need to do more for it so that it can get to its former glory days again.
And having touched also on some of the challenges that you have encountered along the way, how do you deal with them on a day-to-day?
You know, the challenges that we have encountered, how we deal with them day-to-day, it's really requires one to have patience. Also the art of thinking. And I believe also, again, in consulting. I believe in having to be a consensus-oriented leader. When we take decisions, they must be bounded by a consensus view, whether we agree or not. Now, that's what has been pushing us to be where we are today. I can tell you, remember, we've got more than 5 political parties in council out of 70 councillors. It's just a huge thing to convince so many people inside council to say, let's move this direction. But once you share the vision, say, this is where we're supposed to be going, even outside our political affiliations. I think everyone wants what is best for this community. That's what has been pushing us to in that direction. Say, but this is how we need to build Mahikeng. Mainly, most of them, they've been agreeing to us. Those, I think, we've been seeing also the resuscitation of most of the infrastructures around Mahikeng. If you've seen, including the road infrastructures, that one is just visible for everyone to see.
Absolutely.
The roads,
everywhere around town.
Everywhere around town, exactly.
There's an infrastructure project right now, I can tell you. More than one.
So currently, Mahikeng has been turned into a construction site, not including only by government, but including the private sector as well. You know, even in the villages, remember, we've got like the number of villages that I've just counted, more than 100. But at least out of the 35 wards, we've built new roads where there has never been roads before. Either you go to Cllr or you go to Bolomanyaneng, in Majamanso, in Masutle, in many villages, in Mahikeng and other villages. We're building new roads where there has never been roads. Also, this means that we must also professionalize our villages as well. You can see even also the erection of new filling stations around Mahikeng. Some days we've been unblocking the blocked project. The filling stations in Musianivi, in Majamanso, soon will be operational. Others, including in Morena Mall, even behind there, we're going to have a new developments which will be done by the private sector. We are trying to do everything in our power, make sure that we make Mahikeng to be the wonder of ages again.
And talk to us about your relationships with other government departments, entities, with big business as well, so as to bring development to Mahikeng.
I must say we've been having quite good relationships with the number of stakeholders, and particularly I must mention this one, particularly the Department of Public Works and Roads under the MEC Elizabeth Mukua. You know, she has really made sure that Mahikeng, remember, it's a provincial seat of government. Mainly, it's a capital city. They have pumped up a lot of assistance to come to the provincial seat of government. Remember, we've got the legislature based in Mahikeng, the executive is based here, including the High Court. Now we've got the 3 arms of state here based in Mahikeng. That means every single provincial department is based here. Now, each and every single provincial department has an obligation to make sure that this city shines, this city is workable. Now, like I was seeing, some of them, they include also the MECs of public safety, MEC Morweng, MEC Lemkopane, MEC Viola Mutsumi, and many of them, doing the MEC of Sports, Arts and Culture, and others that I could not mention. Maybe I can't mention in terms of in the interview, but they've really been very progressive in making sure that they contribute immensely in Mahikeng. As you know, some include the sporting people that we've been assisting around Mahikeng, stakeholders. One of the relations that we established when we came over into office was to introduce ourselves to all the traditional authorities which are operating within the Mahikeng local municipality jurisdiction. We went to Khosi Monsiwa to introduce ourselves. This is Khosi Kironaba, the new council of Mahikeng. This is the executive mayor, the speaker, and the whip, and other councillors that were there. Went to Khosi Shole and other Khosis around here, including the national chairperson of the national traditional leaders and Khoisan leaders, Khosis, whom we are proud of. And it's not just the national chairperson, but it's also young, but heading all these traditional authorities across the country. We had to go there and say, here we are, and please, we want to cooperate with you, work under you as our traditional authorities. Some they include the establishment of such committees, Khosi, establishments of the Initiation School Committee under the Mahikeng local municipality. We had to speak to, remember it's a sacred practice, we had to speak to those who are in charge of these schools, said, but we need to protect our heritage, we need to protect our customary practices, because Initiation School really was associated with the bad elements, which it's not their intention to do so, in terms of issues of crime, gangsterism, and it's not the intention of our customary practices. We had to go there and said, but we need to mold how we do things. And those who are bogus, they must be brought to the book. Only people who are formally registered must work within the confinements of the law, working with the provincial committee of Initiation School, working with the tribal authorities across Mahikeng local municipality. Those we've been enjoying those good relations with the stakeholders, all of them, because I think there were new establishments or new relations that have never existed before, including even our communities. We went to schools to try with these committees to put an end to gangsterism, which was taking place as a result of not understanding the purpose of our customary practices, gangsterism in the schools. I can mention a few of them, including Libuitsoko Secondary School. But at least since these committees were established, now we can see there's law and order, and people are able to respect the African customary practices without putting a bad element on them. And I hope that in future we'll keep on establishing new relations with our people. We have entered into several partnerships with different institutions. One of them being the Northwest University. The Vice Chancellor, Dr. Bismarck Chobeka, paid us a visit here, whereby we had engagements with some of his council members, whereby we had to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Northwest University and Mahikeng local municipality. Remember, they do have the MOU with the provincial government. So now we are just taking it to our level, where we said, but the university is based in our municipality. What can we do to work together, make sure that we try to improve the conditions of our area? Now, what the university did, they had to open what we call the purple route. And purple is the official color of Northwest University. So they inherited the Dr. James Moroka Drive, including the University Drive. Now that's where you see the logos or emblems of the Northwest University being hanged there every single day without fail, 7 days a week. We've got street sweepers from the Northwest University. sweeping these two purple roads, including security guards which are guarding these two roads, meaning that they're guarding the students and equally guarding the government facilities. Remember, these two roads are housing the provincial government, the legislature, including the Northwest High Court and Mahikeng local municipality. So the partnership really that we entered into with the Northwest University is really a positive results for us. And there are many of them. Some is the private sector, whereby recently when we got into office, we were invited by the owners or the landlords of Morena Mall to come and to the occasion of opening the Morena Mall, which has really also helped us to reduce the unemployment rate, because many people were employed in the mall. Some the private sector of the owners of the retail stores around Mahikeng, include the fast food stores that we've been going there to do the ribbon cutting as a sign of cooperation and partnership with this private sector. So once they come here in Mahikeng to invest here, they are giving business opportunities to our people who supply these establishments. These establishments also, they are creating employment opportunities for our people. I think you've seen in what's happening in Mahikeng Mall, the establishment of new stores, a new establishment, including in Mabatu Mega City. Many people, more than 100 people, have been hired as a result of the partnership with these establishments. I think that's why you would see the executive mayor of Mahikeng, including the council, will be invited to the official openings of these establishments as a sign of cooperation and doing the ribbon cutting, saying that we are one family as the private investor, including the municipality as well. And still, the executive mayor of Mahikeng is going to continue with these partnerships, including cutting the ribbons all over. And maybe this year we might cut the ribbons of 5 establishments which are already operating in Mahikeng in the form of filling stations, stores, and others. We'll continue doing that strengthen those partnerships with our people, but being Lemahosia Rona, including with other formations and other NPOs or NGOs, and that's what we need to do to work together with every member of our community. We recently had the engagements with the private sector, and they made pledges. And I can tell you soon enough, in the next period of a few years, we'll be seeing Mahikeng having a different shape, including people have been complaining again. Empty spaces around Mabatu and Mahikeng. Some include vacant and unutilized houses in the CBD of Mahikeng. But that we've been working closely with the Department of Human Settlements about those houses, public works as well, including the housing corp. Those houses must be utilized in the benefit of community members. Because whatever that is happening, that's affecting the municipality, that's affecting the communities as well. Those are the real stakeholders that we've been working with, both in public and the private sector. And I must say, I appreciate the responses that they've been given to us. Because what we prefer to do as the 5th Council of the Mahikeng Local Municipality, we prefer to work with the people, cooperate with them, because government alone, including the municipality, cannot achieve a lot of things if we work alone. I think you would be aware that there's a serious traffic congestion around Mahikeng, the CBD, during peak hours. Now, we're also intending to open the road next to the traffic department. Now, that road also will just try to ease the pressures of the traffic congestion that is happening in the CBD. It also show people that there are many factories, warehouses, they're not operating. Maybe perhaps also it can help us to attract people as they pass there to see that Mahikeng has many factories. And we are intending again to have discussions with the provincial government about the operations of those factories around Mahikeng. Remember, we are number 1 in terms of the high unemployment rate. The stats has come out again just yesterday that Mahikeng is on the top of the list. Maybe perhaps if we are working with the private sector and also the provincial government, we'll be able to open those factories, make sure that we create employment opportunities for our people, both in the agriculture or any sector that wishes to utilize those factories like they used to operate in the past.
Executive Mayor, what are some of the challenges that you have had to navigate in terms of, just generally the affairs of the municipality?
No, we've had to go through many challenges which we inherited from the past. Some, which I must mention, not being able to provide electricity to our residents. Like I said, the municipality does not have a license of electricity distribution license, which we are really fighting for to get it back to the municipality again. Meaning that we can't provide electricity to the residents of Mahikeng. It has to be provided directly by Eskom, unlike in other municipalities. Second one is the license or water authority. We can't provide water directly to our communities without consulting with our sister municipalities, which have the water authority. The other one is about also having car registrations, even making basic things such as driver's licenses. Those are some of the challenges that we are experiencing as a municipality. But even besides having those challenges, we've managed to make sure that we encourage our people to pay their dues to the municipality. They're paying their rates and taxes, whereby we had to also cut their rates by 60%. And we're also planning, and as the head of the institution, I would want to convince council again that we really need to cut the rates and taxes with 60% again or so that people are able to come to the municipality. No, I've went through different engagements with many families around Mahikeng. Some were on the verge of losing their houses. But because we reduced their rates by 60%, say for example, if maybe having a 10 rand, you know that 6 rand will be cut off and you'll be only able to pay the municipality 4 rands. We've been engaging, some have been sending us messages, say that thank you for cutting our rates. We were about to lose our family houses. Business people, we have been really struggling to pay the municipality. They've been refusing, but because of these challenges. Yeah, because I think as well, after appointing all the senior managers that we appointed, I had to call the CFO to advise me and said, people are having pressures of paying the municipality. What is the cause of community members not paying the municipality? And he sat down with me and said, Majoro, I also been complaining outside, but now I'm the CFO of the municipality. I have to make sure that our people are able to pay the municipality. And these are the strategies that we can make for our community members to pay the municipality. It's about reducing by 60%. Those who have been honoring their payments, we had to cut also by 25%. And now we've seen many people coming to the municipality. The other one is part of the challenges our community members have been facing. Every single Monday through the office of the chief whip, I nearly forgot that one. It's an important fact that we are registering our people through what we call an indigent registration of the municipality. All the municipalities have the indigent register, which needs to be updated. Now that is been operating through, let's say, my campaign, through the office of the chief whip, whereby we go to all the areas around Mahikeng. And our people should not wait for, let's say, my campaign. They are also able to come to the municipality to apply to be indigents. Now, for you to be an indigent, we increased the household income from 3,000 rand to 8,000 rands. So meaning that when you earn 8,000 rand and below, or the household income is 8,000 rand and below, you will be able to receive about 50 units of electricity for free. Those who are staying in the urban areas, it's those 50 units of electricity. The refuse have been collected for free, including reducing also the water supply to your houses. So now we're trying to do ease the pressures that our people are facing, because I believe alone, including those that I serve with, the pressures that our people are facing has been very enormous. But it's upon our shoulders to reduce those things. But we would want the intervention of the higher offices. Remember, local government is the whole face of service delivery. That's the real government where people are. Now, the people are accounting to municipalities. They are not accounting to those who are high. But we are the mouthpiece and we are the ears of those who are on the ground. Now, that's why we need to speed up the process of saying we need to engage both the provincial and national government to enable us to have those authorities or the distribution licenses of electricity, of water, of vehicle licenses and others. And Mahikeng really will be saved again if we can have those.
Corruption is one of the key challenges in our society. What is your view on corruption as a leader, and what do you think can be done to fight it?
My view about corruption, really, South Africa for some time has been associated with corruption and making government officials as the drivers of corruption. Once you take politics, or people have been given the responsibility to oversee a government, and you take it as a career, that's where the problem lies. You get tempted to destroy government, get tempted to fill up your pockets with money which is intended for service delivery. Now, corruption really is eating the moral fiber of the society. And those monies really, it's taxpayers' monies, which have been paid by hardworking people, ordinary community people, some poor and the working class. Now, if we tend to take such monies from a government to ourselves or to our associates, that's leading to corruption. And it must be stopped. South Africa has the proper legal frameworks that deals with corruptions. But we need the right people who are committed to tackle these bad elements of corruption. Make sure that those who are found must be brought to a book, that South Africa must be counted as the best countries in the world which is against corruption. And I think it should start with me, starts with every single government officials. It's been mayors, MECs, ministers, including the presidents. We must be on our toes, must work hard, make sure that also we are playing an oversight role on the officials of the municipality. And normally we have the processes whereby we check what we call the lifestyle audits. Mainly the lifestyle audits will be done on politicians. Times we forget to check the officials of government, not only through the municipal level, including provincial government levels. The lifestyle must be audited, that you compare your life. Is it close to what, my apologies, close to what you earn as your salary or the income that you get? If you have an extra, but there must be a declaration as well, that where do you get this money? Is it fit for the salary that you earn from your work, or where do you get it? I mean, our policies are clear. There must be a declaration of interest if you have them, and really we'll be able to deal away with corruption in a day.
There's also this idea that municipalities only work around election time. What are your views on that?
Well, I've received that a lot from people, maybe who have not been following the work that we've been doing as Mahikeng local municipality. And they say, it's during elections, now they're going to start work. But I normally tell people, I said, but follow our work. Since we took over office in the year 2021, the 22nd of November, we had to sit down and plan. Starting on our roads projects, we started in 2022. And we've got that in our record books when we started working on our roads. There was one time we were donating about 70 wheelchairs to the disabled communities or around Mahikeng. The people were saying, are you donating only during election time? I said, no, but we can't stop to give services to our people. Cannot even stop to donate what we would need to donate to our people because it's election time. We will work every day. Even during election time, we'll continue working. When we had the national or general elections last time, and people are saying, oh, they're just busy on the roads because it's election time. Now it's local elections. People are saying, oh, they are working because it's local elections. No, but it's both national, provincial elections. We're going to work after or before, including during the local election times. We've been working before. We'll be working during those elections, even post those elections. The municipality of Mahikeng will keep on working and giving services to our people. But not, and we don't want to be restricted by the social commentators where they say we're only working during election times or because elections are nearing. Our work started the day we took over office, and it will stop as we go outside the office and hand over the baton to those who will be coming after us.
In terms of cleaning Mahikeng, Mayor, what is some of those efforts that are being done to deal with illegal dumping sites and generally, the state of cleanliness in and around town?
Now, we have developed a campaign, obviously, that has to inspire people of Mahikeng, including visitors. Be mindful that Mahikeng, without being surrounded by the number of villages that I've just mentioned, including other local municipalities around Mahikeng, most of them, they are doing their shopping here in Mahikeng. So you can imagine that we are not only bearing the burden of the Mahikeng residents, but including the neighboring municipalities. We came to the municipality and we have been going around with a campaign which was established in the municipality called the Rata Mahikeng, Love Mahikeng. It has really yielded results in terms of cleaning. If you can remember in the past, I normally even like to go around in the streets just to check what's happening. There are many legal dumping sites across the residentials of Mahikeng, at times in town. Now we've been going down there and say, but we need to clear off these things. Now, the most important thing that we must be doing again is to teach our communities about littering and the dangers that it does to the environment. Really in town, it's starting to shape up. Now, I normally do my rounds during the evening or either in the afternoon just to check if the town is clean. But the main thing is about dumping illegally on the corners, either in town, at least we're getting there. There's been a group of people, community members, who have also came to the municipality to form part to say that we want to help you as well. Some have been assisted by the municipality and some by the Department of Economic Development and Environmental Affairs to help clean the CBD, including the entire Mahikeng, mainly in Mabatu area, including as well as the CBD. And I think it can be through united efforts. People must be taught littering is not how we should be doing. We've got dustbins, we've got refuse bags where we need to dump. Some, just even next to the South building, we had to even dig trenches because people are just dumping in those open spaces without even taking their refuse where it's supposed to go. At times they become late. When the refuse trucks pass by, people have not been taking their refuse bags out. So those have been some of the challenges. But what we need to be doing is also to enforce our work as the municipality, which we are trying our best. But in terms of teaching people not to litter, it's been quite a stressful exercise, but at least we are trying and we are getting there. But if our people can just rally behind our campaign of Rata Mahikeng, say we have to love our city, we have to keep the environment clean, make sure that we do not also affect, including animals. At times we find that cows are be dying because of eating plastics, and many in our rural areas. This teaching must not only be around the urban areas of Mahikeng, but including in the rural areas. I hope that they'll hit to the call and make sure that they support the municipality in keeping the environment clean.
And in terms of the volunteers that came on board to work with the municipality on the cleaning campaign, I remember there were some safety and security concerns. How has that been dealt with?
Now, obviously, we heard of that as well as the municipality, and it was a misunderstanding. This group of young people were there. Obviously, they are identifiable, wearing reflectors. So there were certain people who wanted to hijack on this good initiative, which was done by these young people. They provoked business people, demanding money from them, claiming that they are working with these young people. But we had to attend to the issue, and it was resolved with the speed that it deserved. Because, at times when you do certain positive things, they'll have to have those negative elements, but they will manage to be resolved, especially on their safety as well. And we had to make sure that we couple this team of young people with the team of the municipality, and also do the subs doing their patrols around the town, because mainly they do their work in the evening. But lately, this year, they've, through the help of the Economic Development Department, they decided that it should be done during the day, just to secure their safety. And when they go back home, at least they must go back while it's still early to arrive safe at home as well. But I think those are some of the challenges that we are facing. Challenges of it can be criminal elements, which really we manage to make sure that we resolve those matters.
And we've spoken about the road infrastructure development projects and the upgrades that are currently everywhere around town. But talk to us about, some of the facilities and the maintenance of those facilities, such as Mabatu Stadium, Mabatu Convention Center, and the Civic Center.
Well, I think what's important, when the buildings get to a certain age, normally they tend to have their own defects. We have been renovating, working together with the Provincial Department of Sports and Recreation. As you can see, the Mabatu Stadium, including the lawn, it's getting there. In fact, it's almost complete with a certain aspects of the stadium which needs to be attended to. Recently, we've revamped the Mabatu tennis courts, which I think, on my own, I think it's the best tennis court in the country. Maybe next time when we have this kind of interview, we must go to Mabatu tennis court. It's the best state of the art which we've built. Currently, we are sitting at the phase 3, which would be a newly built facility in the stadium. But we've been trying to resuscitate all the infrastructures around Mahikeng, not only the road infrastructure, but including facilities as well. Currently, we've put a hold in terms of the usages of the Civic Center. Soon, we'll be renovating the Civic Center. It has not been renovated since it was built. So now the ceilings and everything is just falling apart. But this current financial year, we're busy to renovate the Civic Center. Well, on the case of the convention center, it's owned by the provincial government, but I think the work that they've been doing is quite commendable. But I would love that the municipality can be given that facility so that we can create an extra revenue for the municipality. If maybe we can have an understanding that maybe the civic center can be transferred to the municipality. They include some of the achievement, maybe I can say that we've been improving, is to take legally through the transferring of the Montsiwa Stadium as well. It has been transferred to the municipality, the civic center, including the botanical gardens. Once we have all these facilities, the municipality is able to make sure that it renovates and uplift or upgrade these facilities.
And what are some of the things that you think that would, make Mahikeng attractive to investors?
Well, besides the history of Mahikeng, there are many things that can attract investors to this town. One of them being the wildlife, which many people don't believe that Mahikeng has a wildlife as well, again, such as Mahikeng Game Reserve, including Manyani. I think if you can pass in front of Manyani, you can see that the development is coming all right through the intervention of the Department of Economic Development and Environmental Affairs. Some elements that can also attract investors is our very own George Dick Montsiwa International Airport. Investors, they want to come to a town where it has a proper road infrastructure, transport which is above the board, including either on the ground or air transport such as your planes. But I think the MEC of Public Safety and Transport Management, MEC Morweng, has been doing well to make sure that the airport is going to function again. And those are some of the things that we want to attract the investors to come to Mahikeng. Some include the aspects of leisure and entertainment. I've made mention of the Manyani Game Reserve, Mahikeng Game Reserve, Cook's Lakes, including Lobole Tlamoren Dam, and other tourist attractions. We want people who can come to Mahikeng, like I was saying earlier, that there's a huge development which is taking place just right behind Morena Mall, where these private investors, they came out of town and said, we want to build low-income houses in Mahikeng. And many people have been showing interest on that. Now it's going to help us as well to curb the illegal land invasion that has been going around Mahikeng. People just need adequate accommodation. As the Council of Mahikeng, we took a resolution to donate also some portion of the land to UNISA to come and build their campus in Mahikeng, and they wrote to us as well. They just need to go back to them again and said, but you said you've accepted the offer. When are you going to start to build your campus in Mahikeng? Now, the private sector, obviously, being positioned in the Nelson Mandela corridor, in Ramatlabama corridor, everyone wants to come to Mahikeng because Mahikeng is in the gateway of Africa. Many countries pass here daily. Yeah, but what we need to do is just to showcase people and have proper road signs. If you pass by our main road, the National Road of Mandela Drive, people should see that, oh, this road is going to, it can go to Zimbabwe, it can go to Angola, Namibia, Botswana. And that's what we need to do in terms of trying to attract the investors to come to Mahikeng.
Now, you, in addition to those that you have already mentioned, I believe you're one of those people that have done considerably well, considering especially that you are, it was your first term in office. But what do you think the people of Mahikeng need to remember by the time your term comes to an end about the work that you have done?
Well, I would say the people of Mahikeng, more especially in this term of office, the fifth administration, I would want them to remember not me alone, but remember the collective that I serve with as the collective that made sure that we breathe life again into Mahikeng, as the collective that came to rebuild the road infrastructure, which has been bad in Mahikeng. I would want them to remember the collective that I served with as the first collective to resuscitate the aging infrastructure. I would love or like them to remember us as those who attracted investment to come to Mahikeng the way we are doing as a collective. I believe in collectivism. And I believe that even those who will come after us, they must lead through the same approach of collectivism, making sure that we leave the mark that, yes, there was those people who came and they did what they did to uplift Mahikeng. Some that they should remember us about. It's our fight to change the mindset of our people. Now, looking down upon ourselves as if we are nothing or we cannot achieve certain things. Now, when we came to this municipality, we had no fleet, both white fleet and yellow fleet. We had no tractors, no trucks, no cars in the municipality. There was one time we had to showcase how many cars we bought by the stadium side and said, this is the cars we've bought, these are the tractors, and now service delivery is going to our people. I'd love to be remembered by those things, that we lost cars, but we bought many again. I'd like to be remembered as those who managed to retain or recover some of the monies from the VBS Bank. Remember, our municipality was notorious in the Zondo Commission. We want to be remembered as those who brought change to Mahikeng and those who made Mahikeng to be workable again. Yeah.
So the province is also gearing up to kickstart phase 5 of the accelerated service delivery program, Cllr Reloaded, in the 7th administration. What do you think about the program so far, and what would you say are some of the things that the municipality has done collectively to ensure that the impact is a success?
I must say, Cllr has been a very wonderful program which was established by the provincial government. Well, some they say it's a duplication of the former Setsokotsane program, but that one is not for discussion. We've seen the impact of Cllr, how it has been consistent, mainly working with the local government in all the municipalities across the province. We've seen the impact. Matters which have been matters of concern in terms of service delivery were resolved on the spot. And this program has went to even the most remotest villages that you can think of, where we could not reach either for this reason or that. But through the Cllr program, we've managed to go there and really hear the challenges of our people, and not only hearing them, but able to make sure that we give them services on the spot. Also in our municipality, through our Rata Mahikeng campaign, clubbing it with the Cllr, every single Friday we are on the streets. Even though we have some machinery challenges here and there, but we make sure that at least we go to our communities across the 35 wards of Mahikeng, that we do our part as well. where we cannot attend to certain responsibilities which are provincial or national government, we're able to interact with them, and they come to our level to make sure that we attend to those challenges. And really, I must say, even our communities are really excited about this campaign of Cllr Reloaded. Everywhere we go, it says, when is Cllr coming to our area? We said, we are there every single day. Like they said, the Premier said, Cllr must be an everyday thing. Must not wait for a certain date that the province will be coming to your municipality. And that's what we're doing, coupled with our Mahikeng campaign.
And what words of encouragement would you share with people who are inspired by the work that you do and would want to follow in your footsteps?
Well, I believe in, I'm a very open person. I believe in what they call the peer review mechanism, even studying from other people. And that's how I am. If I study from people, and I would gladly love other people to study from me, only good things that I do, and more especially as a leader being put in this responsibility. They can learn a thing or two, and in future and say how best we can arrive to a certain level. And I was talking to the manager in my office, the head manager in the office. I said, I would want to have 3 or 4 or 5 kids, either from the university or just in the streets, just to be a mayor for a week, just to experience how is it like to be a mayor, the challenges that people bring to this office, how we resolve them. Maybe if we have those few young kids coming to this office, they can go and try to implement it and have an understanding. But at times, if we have challenges or we can't achieve certain things, it's not because we are folding our arms, but there are certain restrictions which do not allow us to attend to such things. Those are some of the things which I think the approach that I would want to do to inspire those who want to learn from us to be where we are today.
Okay, I'm about to ask my last question. Final question. Mayor, is there anything that you think that we might have left out? Anything that you would want to put out there?
I think we spoke about a lot of things, but there are many things which we really need to attend to, making sure that Mahikeng really is able to have money to take services to our communities. My dream, maybe if I can say, is to have the license of electricity so that we can be able to create revenue. This is one of the things that has been left out of Mahikeng. We are not able to sell electricity so that the money can come to the municipality. Strictly, the money of electricity goes to Eskom, unlike in other municipalities. If you go to other municipalities, they've got their operating licenses of electricity. So it means the residents in those municipalities, they are buying electricity from the municipality. They're able to make revenue out of that. The other one includes the vehicle devolution to register cars in the municipalities, making driver's license discs in municipalities. Those are some of the things that I want to have for this municipality, including having the water authority in this municipality. That's what we want. It will also help us to create a revenue for the municipality. We've been doing some of the work which really were somehow outside our scope, making sure that we fix water facilities such as your pump stations, the generations of water around the area, even though we are not a water authority. But having those licenses, they'll be able to make sure that the municipality creates its own revenue and will be able to take services to our people. Those are some of the things which people are not aware of, which we must bring to the public, that if you see us struggling financially, these are certain things which we really need to attend to so that we can have money to give services to our people. We cannot, for a long time, be a grant-dependent municipality. We need to wait for grants alone. Then you can take services to our people. It's a common factor around Mahikeng that you have to have a municipal infrastructure grant in order for you to make roads or create or build any facility. Those things must come to an end. But we've been engaging with the senior offices about having these licenses back to Mahikeng. Remember, they used to be here before. They were taken out of the municipality during the transition, and we want those licenses to come back to Mahikeng for us to create revenue again. Like in other municipalities, people buy electricity from the municipalities. They get the money back. People do their driver's licenses in municipalities, and they get the revenue through that. Some buy water from their municipalities, and they get money from that. But here it's a different case. Maybe if we can just say, let us start from a smaller scope in the urban areas. Those are some of the things which I think we left behind, which I believe we must make sure that we claim those things, make sure that the municipality must be a profit-driven institution. For you to take services to the people, you need to have money. But now if you don't have mechanisms or approaches of making money, you cannot take services to the people. Those were some of the things. But again, what we left behind is that services must be taken to the people. I think I'm a servitude person who believes in service more than anything else. And that is a thing that would make us to leave an indelible mark in the lives of our people in this municipality. You know, that people who've been going around as social commentators, raising challenges and concerns about, for example, their Tamelang bus service, not taking them. Some have to pay a lot of money to pay the private taxi people, including using minibus taxis just to ferry them from their places of work to home. But I believe that the MEC really is working hard in the midst of the challenges and criticism that he's receiving. He's working hard to make sure that this bus commuter, the public bus commuter again, will be active again, and people will be able to have their transport taking them from the places of work to their homes. Some, it's what I said earlier about the operation of the airport. Those are some of the facilities, even though under the provincial government, we want to see them operating again. And I mean, people have to fly. It's been a while this operate not working, including one of the visions that I would want Mahikeng to have is to have the Mahikeng former Mahikeng MIDZ, the Mahikeng Industrial Zone, to be declared a special economic zone and be clubbed or joined with the Mahikeng International Airport or George Dick-Montsiwa Airport. I hope that with speed, because the public and more especially the residents of Mahikeng, they have got a high interest in these facilities. I hope that the government, the provincial government, will speed up the process, make sure that these facilities are operational again, and people will be happy to call Mahikeng their home again.
Well in time. And what role can the public play in order to assist the municipality to meet that vision?
You know, many people come here. We operate in an open door policy. Anyone who wants to come to Mahikeng local municipality, either to see me or to see the track of council or any councillor, including the members of the mayoral committee, they are open to come with their proposals. You know, many of them have been coming. And some of the results that you see outside, they were achieved through the municipality with the ideas of our people. Because we believe that in order for us to achieve our goals, we are not working for ourselves, but we are working for the community. Some of them, they've brought in different ideas, either about issues of littering, of the roads, of clearing the storm waters and other things that you can see around Mahikeng, including putting the private sector here. Many people have been putting different proposals, and really some of them, they are working for us. Just last week in both the local and national newspapers, we had taken out an advertisement for those who have an interest to come to Mahikeng, either in the form of monies or anything that they can come with, to come to Mahikeng and say, this is what we can do for you. But it's open for everyone to come and help us to rebuild our town again.
All right. So Executive Mayor, how can people get a hold of you if they want to talk to you as their public representative?
First, either they can come to the municipality any time of the day, 5 days a week. We operate on an open door policy. If we are here, we're able to make time for our people. Either those who would want to call us in, they can call us. Those who want to send emails to the municipality, they can do so. We've got a friendly receptionist waiting to welcome anyone who comes to the municipality. We are accessible any time of the day while we are at work. So that's how people can get hold of us.
All right. And
friendly receptionist waiting to welcome anyone who comes to the municipality. We are accessible any time of the day while we are at work. So that's how people can get hold of us.
There's an email.
sec@mahikeng.gov.za. Now that's where I think others, you can just go through the website of the municipality. Either you just go on the net and the numbers will get them there, including the email address of the municipality, which I just mentioned now.
Well, Executive Mayor, I must say it's been an interesting, interview, and I think we have gotten to know you beyond the work that you do as well. And all the best with the rest of your term and any other future plans that you might have. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Well, that is how we come to the end of another episode on the Northwest Provincial Government Podcast. My name is Lebogang Pule, and from the rest of the crew, we'll catch you again next time. Goodbye for now.